back wall. I don't think any of the umpires saw it that way. I think our referee, Dave, might need to realize that there's 4 people on the court. There will be some congestion. It's inevitable when you have 4 guys in a 40-foot by 20-foot arena. You see Vince go down there, and Marcos makes a mistake there on an easy fly kill opportunity.
Score here is 8-5 in game number 2.
This is what we didn't see, Dave, in the first game. We saw so many great rollouts that there were very few hinders and also very few great gets. Now the kill's a little bit up. Ball's popping up off the sidewall, and now it's, you're seeing a lot more hinder calls. And when you see more hinder calls, Dave, you'll hear a lot more arguing. The two are directly correlated. Now it's just hard to get through one rally, Dave.
Score is 8-5. Vince Munoz and Marcos Chavez won the first game 21-19 when it looked like Team Ireland was going to win that one.
That's 6 replays in a row, Dave.
I don't recall seeing that any other time before.
Actually, 7 now replays in a row.
What? Sorry. I see what John's asking. John Bike's going to try to create a replay here by forcing a 2-minute glove change.
John thinking maybe the reason behind all the slides was the wet gloves, but no one's gloves are wet. Finally, we play a point to the conclusion.
Score here is 5-8. The team in the red is Team Ireland, Robbie McCarthy and Michael Gregan. Team black is Marco Chavez and Vince Munoz. Team Ireland wearing the WPH Live Pro Tour t-shirts. Nice little paddle shot right there from Robbie McCarthy.
You see Marco's doing his best there to shade Robbie McCarthy as long as possible, stepping right in front of him.
6, serving 8.
There's a close-up of Robbie McCarthy. He's a big kid, very strong.
Oh, look at that shot right there from Marco Chavez. Just cuts that enough to keep it up there.
Actually jumped over Michael Gregan on his way to killing that ball in the right corner.
It's almost as if Robbie McCarthy
is late for a date.
6, serving 8.
He's serving quickly.
Serving very quick.
Thank you.
That ball hitting Michael Gregan. That's a replay.
1 screen.
Here's a setup. Vince kills that ball. Beautiful kill, Dave. He hit the perfect shot there. He was on the right side wall. If he hits that ball too far to the left of the center of the front wall, it'll pop up into that left side wall for an easy pickup for the left side player. Instead, he hits it right in the middle of the front wall, where if it does make it to the side wall, it won't come up. Marcos, that's the shot that he wants. He's missed a couple of those that could have really given Team Chavez a nice momentum here. That's another broken ball. A lot of fans, Dave, still packing the galleries. There's also a couple hundred people enjoying a WPH victory party outside in the one of the cabanas that's bleeding into the tennis court area.
Which you and I are missing.
Regan McCarthy, your first 1 minute.
We actually hear that they're going to need a new keg because Eddie Chapa just showed up.
And yeah, you're right.
He's kicked the first one on his own.
Is that what you call it? What you don't want is to do a keg stand with Eddie Chapa, as you are the placeholder on that one. Try to stay away from any of that type of action out there. But they are having fun at the barbecue pit, which it's obvious that the fans are having fun watching this game number 2.
We may actually have a camera out there at the barbecue pit that we'll go to between games should this go to a tiebreaker.
Look at the fans packed here. You can see Tommy Sheridan right there in the blue shirt. Right above him is Owen Kennedy. Megan Mahilos standing next to her semifinals partner or opponent, Samantha England. You see Tommy Little up top to the left. A lot of the pro players here watching this match. Bill Mahilis down bottom right next to Dane Zatkowski, Shane Keneally, and Desi Keegan over there as well. Of course, you can understand why Desi Keegan and Owen Kennedy are watching. They're going to play the winner of this one tomorrow in the finals of the U.S. Open.
Let them get this done the best they can.
Owen Kennedy knows where that camera is at all times, Dave. We see him a lot during the timeouts.
I hope you don't take offense to this, but
I think I might, judging by the
the manner in which I said this. Dave Chapman is watching the live webcast back at home, and he feels that just by the sound of you chewing the gum that it's bubblicious.
It actually wasn't.
Wow.
It was cool ice. I stopped chewing Bubblicious just about 10 months ago, went cold turkey.
How did your game react to that?
Never chewed gum on the court. Maybe I should start.
I do. I blow bubbles. I do it different.
Regan McCarthy coming in.
There's that beautiful dark blue WPH official player jersey, Dave. That can also be found at thehandballstore.com. Order yours now. Look and play like your favorite pro.
That was a nice dig right there from Robbie McCarthy. He's wondering what the heck happened. Oh, this is going to be confusing here.
But he won the rally. He made the next shot.
That's a good lesson for all the youngsters watching at home, Dave, and we know there's a lot. Play out the point until the ref.
Now John's going to replay it.
Same thing in the first game. I gave you the same thing. He won a rally before on the same thing. If you want to appeal his double, appeal it. You want to appeal his double?
That actually is flawed reasoning, Dave. Just because you made a wrong call in the first game doesn't mean that you can go ahead and make another wrong call to make up for it in the second game.
I thought that John was right just by sticking with that first call that he made. I mean, Roman Polanski made some bad decisions 30 years ago, but it's not okay to do it again.
Six, serving 8.
Still have Roman Polanski on the brain. I was told to disregard that statement. Not sure I will, though. And now it's just become real sloppy in there, Dave. Congestion, arguments, questionable calls.
Strange
6, serving 8.
reasoning to some of those reversal of calls.
And that's just a terrible shot. You know, all this arguing has really broken the flow that we had going in that first game, and it's...
Oh, that's a hand. You're out. You're appealing. appealing a slide. I'm calling side out. He says it's
That ball hit Regan McCarthy. He's saying it only hit him because the ball slid. We'll get a replay of that, Dave. And here it is. Hits this ball. Actually, that ball did slide. Regan McCarthy had a good, valid point there. That's the first real kill shot we've seen to win a point.
8, serving 6.
Score is 8-6.
In about 6 minutes. And a great Z serve there. Michael Gregan not expecting that serve.
9, serving 6.
Goes back to it. This time, not as good a serve, but thought Marcos had that ball lined up. Just barely misses it.
Unbelievably, Michael Gregan and Robbie McCarthy are within striking distance here, Dave. I mean, this has been some really sloppy play here. Webcast booth, referees, players, and the walls.
Certainly half of the webcast booth has been sloppy.
Good point.
That could be because of all the Dokalax that you've been drinking all day.
Chris Garrett is doing a good job in the booth.
Easy call, guys.
It seems like our referee wants to be the focus now of this match. He's doing a lot of talking. I am not judging, I'm just reporting.
Replay.
Just to me, an unnecessary replay call there.
7, serving 9.
Slightly shaded, but didn't affect the shot.
Well, you were put on earth to love but not judge. So there was a get right there from Michael Gregan. You can see that Vince Munoz thinks that he hit a wrist shot. He's looking for the ball so he can clean it off.
8, serving 9.
It's become contentious. There's accusations, there's
Allegations
insinuations.
1 down.
and presumptions. Had to break the chain.
8, serving 9.
Look at that dig right there. Marco Chavez.
A strange shot there from Michael Gregan, and it works out. Michael Gregan looks surprised that that ball came to him. He just flailed at that ball, facing the front wall, caught the ceiling,
Serving 9.
and Marcos and Vince both whiff it. That ball looked like it slid. Not a good ceiling shot there. Regan McCarthy goes back to the ceiling.
Point.
Don't you think this bad court here actually benefits Team Ireland a little bit more than it does
Replay.
Team Southern California, in the sense that there's so many slides and there's a lot of bad bounces and replays here.
10, serving 9.
But I've been over to the place where
Point.
Gregan and McCarthy play handball, and it's
11,
cold and
serving
it's
9.
wet and it's damp, and you just seem this atmosphere seems to a little bit be more conducive to what Team Ireland is used to. At least this team, not the whole country.
Could be.
I thought I'd force my way into that argument.
You're a well-traveled man, Dave. You've spent time over in the island.
Replay.
Oh,
You know, Dave, as a referee, you almost have to scale back on your hinder calls in doubles, just because there's always going to be congestion.
Oh, 1 down.
Marco's completely off here, Dave,
9,
halfway through
serving
this
11.
second game. He's made a number of errors.
Hold it.
another one? Unbelievable.
As good as Marcos was, Dave, in that
9,
first
serving
game,
11.
is how much he's struggling in this second game. see Marcos and Vince both going for that ball. They're asking for a slide.
I wasn't sure. She's got the best view of anyone. I'm 50-50. I didn't want to stop it. It isn't wide.
It didn't bother him the other 70 times he stopped play, but what he's talking about by...
I'm not sure, and someone on this side says it did. What?
Robbie can appeal this, right?
John Bike actually went to his linesman and appealed to them himself.
Which you can do as a ref. His linesman is also his wife, Lupita.
Lupita, a pro player here, Dave. Earned a nice check this week for her performance. Hadn't played handball in 13 years, but was a qualifier here, in the money. As was Biddy Bennigan. So congratulations to her, Dave. She makes her pro debut, appearing in the round of 8 here. Future woman's pro, or should I say she already is a woman's pro.
The latter. 11 serves 11. Marcos has quick hands, but not quick enough for that one. That blast from Michael Gregan. Michael Beckham Gregan.
Marco's playing really tight there.
Almost too tight.
I resisted there.
11, serving 11.
I wouldn't have. It was set on purpose.
One screen. Oh!
That was a slide.
Big slide.
Haven't seen this many slides since I played the board game Hooks and Ladders.
A little bit too obscure for me. I was with you. I wanted to be with you. But unfortunately, I feel like I might have missed out on something pretty great there. Delivery was a little bit off, though.
I thought the delivery was great.
Okay.
There were 3 people that laughed out of the 5 viewers. It's a demo thing.
Min skips that ball, doesn't let that ball drop.
12, serving 11. Green, check it.
I don't think our webcast audience heard enough about your matchups with James Comstock from the early 2000s. A lot of people clamoring for the scores of those matches and the record between the two of you
I can't see that. You can ask.
stalwarts.
If he says slide, slide. I didn't see it. I'm calling point. Vince is saying it slid. I call point and the feeling slide. You saw slide. He's on the wall. That's why I have lines.
There's a lot of arguing.
He's on the wall. The players are asking to change a line judge here, James.
Are they asking to change?
The referee or the line judge? I think we just need a fresh start. A new court, new ref,
Sorry.
and then 2 new linesmen.
The players are asking to change a lines judge, and by the smile on John Bike's face, I think he's smiling because his wife, who's also a pro player, is getting kicked out, and he has to deliver the news.
You've got 2 serves. That was a slide.
Only Jeff Kastner knows.
The linesman called slide.
Yeah.
He's got 2 serves.
There's a line judge. That's Lupita.
The lovely Lupita Alvarado Bike.
All right. Yeah,
I think she had a bunch of cha.
sorry. Let's look at all the 2 minutes. 2 minute and went there. I'm sorry? No, James here. Come on. You got 2 minutes. Get some dry stuff on. Get dry. 2 minutes.
You hear John Bike telling both teams to get dry. Is this a required shirt and glove change?
Still trying to figure out who the line judge was that was kicked off this court. Maybe we'll get some communication from Jeff Kastner.
We see 8 referees in the gallery right now, Dave. All the referees wearing the white and black simple green official referee jersey.
1 minute.
Everyone out of sorts here.
Jeff Kastner believes it was Lupita that got kicked out as the line judge. And now replaced by James Comstoff.
I can't remember the last time we played a point here, Dave.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball, game number 2 between Robbie McCarthy and Michael Gregan, Marco Chavez, and Vince Munoz. It was Team Southern California winning the first game over Team Ireland, but here we've seen some really strange play. You know, every year it's always late Saturday night when all the viewers are tuning in and all of the Southern California fans get down here, and we always see these strange matches every Saturday. I think they should just make the finals on Saturday night, Dave.
That's
because
a good
this
idea.
is the atmosphere.
There's a certain electricity.
Looseness of the crowd who all their matches are over with, and it seems like there's a kind of a vibe out there that always creates some strange things that happen.
We can even feel that vibe, Dave, in this closet that we're tucked into.
I guess the replaced line judge was Lupita Bike, being replaced by Shane Keneally from Chicago.
Great shot there from Vince. That was vintage Vince Munoz taking that ball off the back wall, and a beautiful kill right off the middle of the front wall. Poor serve there. Michael Gregan with a 2-all fist pass that comes off the back wall. Here's another back wall opportunity for Robbie McCarthy. See Vince kind of put his hands up there. It's not what he was intending to do. It's a better shot.
It just means there'll be another argument after this rally is over. Nice get right there from Vince Munoz. Dug out, though, from Robbie McCarthy. An overhand tomahawk miss from Marco Chavez.
Now it's the Irish wearing the blue WPH jerseys and Vince and Marcos in all black.
That's an obvious hinder. Don't talk to me about that. 11 serving 12.
John Bike upset there that there would even be a question over that call. And he had a good point there, Dave. I know you haven't watched any of the match here, but
check the ball, please.
That was an obvious hinder, and then Michael Gregan goes on to miss a really easy serve. And he makes up for it there, Dave, by coming in with that paddle flat kill. You know, Dave, you never really make up for giving away a point because you can never get that point back.
Wow. That was a strange
Marcos
shot.
puts the perfect spin on that ball to catch that sidewall and take off to the front wall and stay down.
Green ball.
The crowd actually settling in now, Dave. Over the last couple of minutes, we've seen a little bit of normalcy here in the last couple of rallies. The pandemonium really ensues, Dave, with the arguing, the towel wiping, the incessant hinder calls. This is good doubles handball here. That ball looked like it slid.
Replay, hold it before that. Stop. What's, no, this is safety. What is that?
A Band-Aid, it looks like.
John Bike stopping play from.
That definitely was dangerous. There was a Band-Aid on the court, Dave. That's a dangerous situation for all players. Luckily, we have our referee to protect the players in that kind of scary situation.
Those Band-Aids have that dangerous material called cotton.
Especially when they're up against the back wall. They're definitely in play.
Yeah, you could lose a limb out there. That soft surface.
Our referee not only calling a great game, but making sure our players are safe at all times. Looks like John Bike Jr. actually calmed down Robbie McCarthy with that lecture that we saw just about 3 minutes ago. Robbie McCarthy does have a tendency to chirp at the referee. It's one of the few rallies you'll see end that wasn't a flat kill where there was no argument. I'm sure you've noticed, Dave, but any pass shot that's not returned is looked up to the referee for a hinder call. Any serve that's unreturned is immediately questioned as a slide.
One screen. Good.
Similar to the first game, Dave, it's the Irish with the lead late in this game. The Irish led 18-14 in game number 1. Lost the last 7 points of that game.
Hold it.
Wow.
Replay.
A lot of stop play here.
Just don't know how that affects the play there, Dave, because that ball is 6 inches high. Vince is already moving towards it. He returns the ball. What more could he have done with that shot? Looked like a good swing there. Vince's feet sliding out from under him. These floors are very slick in certain spots, Dave.
16, serving 12.
Now it's the Irish with a 4-point lead. Very smart shot there from Marcos. Michael Gregan picks that ball up about 7 feet from the front wall, and Marcos drills it right at him. Actually aimed for him and hit him.
Score is 12-16, game number 2.
Hold it.
Something flew off of Vince Munoz's hand there. More tape? What was that? Can we see a replay of that from the
Where are those things coming from?
the production van? Chicago Cubs gloves being worn by Vince Munoz. That makes Jeff Kastner happy. Let's watch this from that angle here. Watch his hand, his right hand. Something flies off of his.
12, serving 16.
There it goes, right there. What was that?
I thought those were his goggles, but they weren't. That ball did look like it slid.
Replay. Yeah, it's a chance. Got a chance. 12, serving 16.
Score is 12-16.
Strange air there from Marcos. A complete swing and a miss on a back wall setup.
12, serving 16.
Michael Gregan has that shot, Dave. Running forward, fist kill.
16, serving 12.
Score now is 16-12 in the second game.
Point.
Make
And
that 17-12.
You get the sense this game is slipping away
17,
from
serving 12.
Marcos and Vince. Looked like they were in complete control of this match, Dave, after rallying to win that first game and then taking an early 6-0 lead here in the second game. Things have drastically changed.
18, serving 12.
Usually you say, Dave, the first team to 18 will win the game. Just like in the NBA, the first team to 100 generally wins the game, but the Irish were the first team to 18 in that first game and lost it.
Really good.
Regan wisely lets that ball go, and Robbie McCarthy puts a lot of heat on that ball and forces the air for Marco Chavez.
19, serving 12.
I was pretty impressed right there, Dave, by the communication between both teams. Eventually won by Team Ireland.
Yeah, that's it. Do it over.
Wow.
That's one of those calls, Dave, where if he makes that shot, he's taking the point. I'm not
19,
just
serving 12.
isolating Michael Gregan there. That would be anybody in handball, basically, Dave. And, you know, you miss the shot and you look up. It's sort of a free ball, like defensive offsides in football.
The flag was thrown.
You've got a free play. You just shoot for the bottom board if you make it. The Irish with one more server here.
20, serving 12. Short. Second serve.
And there it is, 21-12. Team Ireland takes Team Southern California to the tiebreaker. We're going to take a quick timeout, a 5-minute one, matter of fact. For Dave Fink, Chris Grad, Jeff Kastner, and yours truly, Dave Vincent. We'll be back in just a bit. Stay here. It's the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball.
Who's the lines person here? You gonna do it? All right. Whose pile is that? Okay, 11 points for a trip to the final. Gregan and McCarthy serving. That's no good. 0, serving 0. Side out. 0, serving 0. Point.
There's the first point of the tiebreaker for the 3-time defending champions, Marcos Chavez and Vince Munoz. You look beautiful.
1 down.
You're watching the men's
1, serving 0.
semifinals tiebreaker here between Vince Munoz, Marcos Chavez.
Very strange letdown for Marcos and Vince there in that second game.
And Michael Gregan and Robbie McCarthy, Team Ireland versus Team Southern California.
Almost as though a little bit of controversy in that second game fueled the Irish and deflated the Californians. Or as the governor calls it, California. Not really, but
1, serving 1.
Score is 1-1. It's the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Winner plays in the final tomorrow versus Desi Keegan and Owen Kennedy. They're the team that beat Tom Sheridan and Duxie Walsh. Was that 2 bounces back there on that dive, Dave?
didn't think so.
Like to see a replay of that dive. 1-1. We're going to 11. I now know that by listening to you, Dave, you've taught me something here. That all you have to do is just say, let's go to a replay, and there it is. It's like this.
It's magic.
Wow. Couldn't tell if that was double bounce on that replay, though.
The little system my roommates and I worked out this weekend, Dave.
Top or bottom?
So you went there.
I'd like to stay there.
Great kill there from Vince. This could very well come right down to the wire, Dave. These teams very evenly matched.
Stay up. Don't do this. Don't hunch over in the box. Stay up.
What?
Point. Up, Mark. Right?
John Bike telling the line judge not to hunch over.
Actually, he's telling Marcos Chavez not to hunch over in the box.
You can't do this, though. The score is 3, serving 1.
Okay, I get it.
Your back actually has to be to the side wall when your partner's serving. John Bike could have caught a side out there. Instead opted to warn Marcos.
That's a nice shot right there from Robbie McCarthy. John Bike uses that same style of reffing that he does with his 4th graders.
Short.
Likes to warn first.
Second serve.
Got nothing.
Nope, side out.
It's a tough shot, Dave, to hit
1,
consistently.
serving 3.
You see Marcos make a lot of flashy, flamboyant shots, but also make some errors. He's one of the best when he's on, Dave. Beautiful slider there down that right side wall from Robbie McCarthy.
2, serving 3.
Everyone here, Dave, hoping for an 11-10 thriller. I, of course, am hoping for
Hold it.
an unbelievably controversial call at 10-10. But that's just
2, serving 3.
me being mean.
That's just you being you.
That's what I meant.
But mean does start with the letter me, or the 2 letters me.
3, serving 3.
So I can understand the confusion. 3 serves 3. This is the finals. We're going to 11. Winner goes to the finals. I said finals, but I meant semifinals. The first one I said. I completely confused myself.
Hold it.
Wow, that's
You
tough.
don't want that unless you see it roll. You didn't want it until it rolled. Replay.
Hinder call from John Bike.
John feels the
serving
need to
3.
justify every one of his calls, which is not necessary.
I don't understand what Team Ireland wanted there. I mean, that's clearly a hinder. You're not going to put that ball away from that position.
Handcuff there, Robbie McCarthy, very strange. Unable to
3,
adjust to that
serving
ball.
3.
Wasn't hit very hard.
Side out.
Vince, a slight miss hit there, but it worked out. We haven't seen Vince come into the box, Dave, and score any points
3,
here in the
serving
last
3.
game and a half. And that's really limited
Point.
Team Marcos and Chavez. Of course, just as I say
4,
that, Vince
serving
comes
3.
in, gets a free point on a pretty average serve. And now it's Vince going to the tomahawk. And this is exactly what Vince and Marcos need.
5, serving 3.
If Vince can come in here, Dave, he's already scored 2. That's a huge boost. Here's a setup here for Vince. He'd take that back up to the ceiling.
No.
And now it's Robbie McCarthy. A little bit tight in there, Dave. We saw him clumsy with his feet
6,
to
serving 3.
give Team Chavez and Munoz the side out, and then he makes a really strange
Wow,
error there.
huge setup right there, and they're replaying this. That was a monstrous
We'll
setup.
definitely need to see a replay on that.
What was the replay
Hinder
on?
call.
That was a terrible serve from Vince Munoz. Right there is a nice comeback on his
Almost as
part.
though Vince paced himself for this point in the match when he'd be fresh enough to
7, serving 3.
serve and win some rallies. Here's that call.
Okay, I see
Okay.
it. I get it. I understand. It was Vince Marcos Chavez. And there's
And
Vince
now it's
Munoz
just
doing
Vince
it again.
Turning back the clocks, Dave, about 10 years to when Vince
Get in the
was
box,
the
Marcos.
second or third best
Marcos,
player in the
get
world.
box.
I think that John Bike just said that
8,
Marcos,
serving 3.
8 serves 3. Vince is just going for everything right now, and he skips one in.
Marcos and Vince will take that ratio,
8,
5 kills
serving 3.
to an air.
You know, this has been the first big run from Vince Munoz. Look at that tomahawk right there from Marco Chavez.
You can ask if you have. 8, serving 3.
John Bike does have a hard job here because every single play is being either appealed or conversed by the team from Ireland.
And now it's Team California, Dave, cruising, completely
9, serving
overwhelming the Irish here, using their experience and skill set to bust this tiebreaker open. And now you see Michael
3.
Gregan
Hold it.
not even taking full swings, just in complete defensive mode.
9, serving 3.
Score now is 9-3.
Point.
Shocking that Michael Gregan goes between the legs there. He had a chance to take that ball with his left or his right. He goes between the legs.
Well, he heard a few claps from the crowd when he did that at 0-0 in the first game, so thought he'd bring it back again. He also did it at 0-0 and 0-1. And that ball right there made it to the front wall, and Marco Chavez and Vincent Munoz have a chance to go for the four-peat. Here's the replay.
Unbelievable finish.
Watch
Finishing
this shot
here, Dave. This is a signature Marcos Chavez shot. Incredible. Very difficult to get the right spin on that ball, Dave, from over there on the left side of the court. The Irish go out really with a